doesn't look like you'll make any changes to your lineup tonight from Boston?
No, just Sogard's going to go down, play tonight for Belleville. Gus did a really nice job, but it was key to get him down there, get him feeling good. And Sogi get a couple starts, kind of see what the NHL's about, be on the road with the guys, the practices, everything that goes with it. But, he's going back with his team, and he's going to get, a lot of work here down the stretch.
Is there an update on Matthew Joseph, Coach?
Yeah, it's probably a little worse than what we thought. Nothing grave, but it's going to be tight if he gets back in. He certainly won't be in for the next probably week here. So we'll try and see if we can get him in by the end. Unfortunately, like I said, it's a little bit of a timeline thing, but nothing real serious.
I would assume avoiding the league power play is key number one here tonight for your hockey club?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, they can torch anybody any given night. The players that are out there, can make plays. They can shoot pucks. They can go from different sides. They've got a lot of different options. Now, remember that power play's been together for a long time. The core guys, and they feed off what they read off what you're going to give them, and they can make adjustments quickly. So for us, we got to take 2 or less penalties.
You were saying the other night that you're seeing Stützle grow in front of our eyes. Like, where have the biggest strides been made here of late for him?
Well, confidence with the puck, carrying it, for sure. He's playing harder in his own zone. He's understanding that a little more. But I think his decision making with the puck is probably where he's grown the most. I think it was make a play at all costs. As a young guy coming in, then you realize what the league gives you, what it doesn't give you. And what to take and what not to take, and I think he's offensively shooting the puck a lot more, so you've got to respect that, and that's going to open up a lot more things for him. But just, he's 19 years old. He's growing, he's getting stronger. He's getting faster, and there's still more to come. So, I had the opportunity to coach Mitch Marner, and I think his first year would be Timmy's this year. So, you look at the growth for him, where he's gone in his career, and you look where Timmy is. Timmy was in the league a year ahead of him. I think it's a good time to be in Ottawa and have an opportunity to watch a guy of this skill set.
How close are your big four of Batherson, Stützle, Tkachuk, and Norris to maybe getting to the same stratosphere as where Marner, Matthews, Tavares, and Nylander would be for Toronto?
Yeah, that's fair, but it took Matthews a while. Obviously, it took Mitch a while. Took Willie a while. To get to where they are now, they're a lot older than these guys are. And in order to get there, you got to be the league's best. You've got Matthews is the league's top goal scorer. Mitch, I think, has got the most points of anyone since a certain day or whatever that is. So, you don't want to compare anyone to anyone else. I think our four, and let's not forget, Shabbat and some guys coming. But I think they're as talented and as skilled as anyone. Now, how hard are we going to work, and what are we going to do to push us over the next hump? But certainly the ingredients are there. They love playing hockey. They love being together. They're all best friends. So it really is a good recipe at this point.
And would you anticipate giving Gus one of those 2 back-to-back?
Yeah, for sure. Down the stretch, you want, like I said, I've said all along, you want to win as many as possible, but Gus needs to have some good games up here. He went down and did what he had to do. He got a shutout, and he's coming off a 1-goal game. He'll probably get, the front of the back end of that Seattle-Vancouver. We've got 3 back-to-backs here, so, likely he could get 3. Or more, depending on what happens. So, these are big games for him. As much as they're nothing in the standings, these are big games for him. He's got to, give us the games that he gave us down the stretch last year and build some confidence for himself going into the offseason.
With Joseph now not on that top line, I know you've had Parker Kelly up there. You keep rotating guys. What opportunity does that provide you for evaluation?
Well, it's not so much about a guy that I think's going to play on the top line and be there. I think, when Parker went up, Parker went up there, it was about having a little more depth on the road with them having last change. And obviously, it didn't work the way we had hoped. I think Connor came up and provided, plenty of stability away from the puck. as that line kept seeing the Bergeron line, and Connor's one of our best defensive guys, and he's the likely fit up there for sure. So we'll see going forward. I get last change here. We'll see what happens on the road. But certainly that's a big hole for us. And because when you put Connor there, it provides a big hole down the lineup when it comes to depth and depth scoring. So certainly it's a hole, but what are you going to do? Injuries happen.
And as you get into this last stretch of the season, what are you trying to get out of the team? Like, do you have any specific goals in terms of, this is the last kind of time you get to work on things before next year when hopefully things are a bit different?
Well, it's a tough time because, there's, the teams that are out, and we've been out for a while here, you want to push the guys, but how hard do you push them? At the same time, I just want us to do it right, and do it right, do it hard. We don't give in to anybody. No one gets free points from us. There's teams that need these points desperately to get in the playoffs or to move up in standings, and we don't want to hand anyone anything. And I think if people say, they're no matter what the time of year is, they give you an effort. I think that says a lot about our core group that want to be in this position where they're fighting for the playoffs and want to be in the playoffs. You're not just going to come in and walk all over us, and our effort will be there. You're not always going to win the games. You're going to play against good teams that may, beat you and whatever. But our effort, as long as it's there, and that core group understands that we're going to push right to the end, and I think that just becomes a mentality. I think if you look at the Boston Bruins over years, it's been a fixture of Marchand. I was talking about never takes a game off. And no matter what the game, if it was exhibition, if he doesn't have a good game coming, he comes over and lips somebody on the bench. He never takes a night off. And I'd imagine it'd be the same in exhibition. And I think we want to be known as that, is you'll never get a freebie against us.
You were just talking about injuries. Shabbat skated earlier. Is any chance he'll play or maybe go on the road?
He won't come on the road with us. We're hopeful that maybe we can get him in as well at the last week. But again, if he's not 100%, we're not going to do it. But that'll be up to the trainers and him and Pierre to see where he's at in that situation. We'd sure love to get him in there. He's huge piece. He's as big a piece as we've got here. He's our best defenseman. He plays the most minutes. We're not near the same team without him. So, it'd be just good to get him back in with our guys to finish.
Anderson running out of
time. Running out of time there. We're again, same thing. We're going to try and get these guys in. And the whole plan all along is if, had he not got hurt, he'd be playing this entire time. And it's unfortunate, but at least he's here. I talked to him this morning. He's getting to know the guys, the trainers, everything in Ottawa, the city of Ottawa, how well our guys get along and interact with each other. So there's that feeling out process that he won't have next August when he comes in, which is great, but we really do want him to play. We're going to see down the stretch here. We're going to do everything we can to get him in.
DJ, 400 games tonight for Austin Watson. His story obviously well documented. Just what has he meant to this team, though, the last couple of seasons?
Well, I've known Waddy since he's a kid, way back to the junior days. And, he hasn't had an easy go. And, whether it's his childhood off the ice, he's battled through a lot of things to get where he's at. Nothing's been handed to him. It really is a great story where he is in his life today. He's got 2 young kids. He's doing everything in his power to, it's harder than I think none of people think, but, the sobriety and everything that goes with it, he's proud of it. And the guys are proud for him. He shows up every day to play. He's got no fear in his belly. He does everything he can to help the team. Hockey aside, though, I think his life story is a better one for people to, how hard he's pushed to get himself to be clean and also to be in the NHL and play 400 games is something special.
And DJ, your name's kind of being floated in that conversation for the World Championship team. Can you shed any light on that, or what is your reaction when you hear that?
Well, certainly flattered, thrilled if there's ever an opportunity to help your country. I had an opportunity with the Ivan Halinka with the 96 group, and we won over there, and it was special. And if I can get the opportunity, I certainly will be available, and we'll see what happens here. So I've never been to the World Championships or anything like that, and it's just an experience that I think you do this because you want as many experiences as possible to make you a better coach, and if there's an opportunity for me to do that, I'll be there.